All right. So just know when you're dealing with me, you're dealing with a real person. Okay. This is a video, right? This is in the video section on YouTube, but it's like I'm live. Okay. I'm not going to stop and restart it and all of this. Okay. I'm a regular person. I'm not here to entertain. Do you understand? There's so much fakeness out there and people just giving their opinions on the fake world. I'm doing these videos to expose the fake world. Understand? These stories are nothing but stories, and sports is soap opera for men. Okay? S soap opera, sports S. All of these stories are given to us by the language. Do you understand? Look at this. Saints, S. Sermon, S. Shoulder, S. Is what I'm telling you, okay? These letters have numerical values and everything is ran on the language with these distractions. I can't explain everything 100% as I am caught up in this fake world being deceived from a young age. I want y'all to know that. So I decode these stories as a real person and I'm caught up just like y'all. I am not gatekeeping information where I'm just going to present you and I don't get all excited about it. Do you understand? We're here just give them the information, I'm on the opposite team, right? We're deceiving this other group of people. Just give them the information, present it, be funny, entertain them. No, this is not television. That's why I'm buried here. That's why the people I'm exposing are probably the only ones listening, or the majority. Do you know what I mean? So you can't tell people nothing nowadays. All you can do is just present them with the information. Try not to get caught up in your emotions when they don't understand it because they're too busy watching TikTok on their phone. So, Saints quarterback Derek Carr says in a sermon that people are lying about him and his shoulder injury. And that's interesting, isn't it? That is interesting, right? Because these characters, they don't make their own decisions. Stories hit, and that's just what the story is. They got to play their role. So let's hear what Derek Carr has to say during this sermon.
And so, man, that verse right there, I know it blesses somebody because that verse has been blessing me. But let me tell you, you guys know I like to tell you what God has done and what God is going to do. But I also like to tell you what God is doing right now. Okay, and so yes, I have to say this. I hate that I have to say this, but I have to say this. Yes, I have a shoulder injury, despite what ESPN says, and what some lady on a podcast might think. Okay, I have an MRI report to prove it. The team knows about it. We've been in constant communication. There's nothing wrong. We're figuring it out, and we're going to go forward with that. Is that okay? And I've been dealing with this, and I've been dealing with people lying about me. I've been dealing with them saying this and that, and I'm like, Lord, why do I have to continue to deal with this nonsense? Like, what is going on? And I
Keep in mind that this is a character on the world stage, and another form of divide and the deceit. They'll give us these characters, and they could portray them. Think about Kyrie, or think about Kanye West as an example, right? It's like, oh, look at this guy. He's going against the system. He's on our side and he's trying to expose us. This wouldn't hit where we would be able to see it if he was saying something that they didn't want to get out there. Do you understand? So, okay, so and so is lying, right? So it's kind of like they're trying to slowly condition us that the world is fake. And it's been fake all along by slowly letting certain things out there. It's called conditioning, and programming. Think about television programming. So we're not going to look at Derek Carr in this situation as somebody who's, oh, he's exposing somebody's lying about him or whatever, right? That's, that's one of the first rules here, okay?
Is that okay? And I've been dealing with this, and I've been dealing with people lying about me. I've been dealing with them saying this and that. And I'm like, Lord, why do I have to continue to deal with this nonsense?
At the same time, that is some truth. Do you understand? As you see the grin on his face. At the same time, that is the truth, because a lot of these are lies with these stories to keep us distracted.
Like, what is going on? And I say that to preface with, you never know what someone's really going through. And so why do we continually try to attack people? And I would say attack people that are trying to do things maybe the right way. Why do we continually try? Why do we always have to have an opinion? Why do we always, Twitter and Instagram has ruined things for some people.
Ding, ding, ding. That was the intention all along. This is a system, okay? This is a system, and that's just how it's going to be.
Because now all these people think that they have voices that have to be heard. And so some people's voices don't need to be heard right now. I just got to be honest with you. Because not one of our opinions in here matters. Did you know that? The only opinion that matters is that text right there. It is the Word of God. And everything must bow.
Yeah, and who is playing God over us? So there's more deceit there.
At that.
Right? Oh, here's this character that nobody knows. It's just here. Believe in this person. Who is playing God on the world stage right now? It's somebody, right? So there's truth in what he's saying there. But again, we're not going to look at the character like, yeah, let's get behind him. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the world stage. Do you understand? So anyways, Derek Carr says in a sermon here that people are lying about him and his shoulder injury, which that's true, right? And he probably doesn't even have a shoulder injury. Okay? But what do you think about this? I hate that I have to say this, but I have to say this. Yes, I have a shoulder injury, Carr said while delivering a guest sermon at a church. So, and this was on Sunday. Ha ha ha, right? Sunday, S like Saints. The dude plays for the Saints. The dude plays for the Saints. And he's delivering a guest sermon in church. Obviously, saints are connected with church. They don't want to tell you that. Saints are usually recognized by their local community, often by people who directly knew them. As their popularity grows, they are often then recognized by the entire church through the Holy Spirit. Spirit S. Saints S. Shoulder S. Sermon S. Former football player Shannon Sharp trending SS. Sexual assault S. Shador Sanders trending SS. This stuff is so fake. By the language, okay? In a church, and he's a member of the Saints. They don't want to tell you that, right? But I'm here to tell you. Look at the full name for Derek Carr, quarterback of the Saints. Derek Dallas Carr, 102 like shoulder. Letters have numerical values. Get a clue, right? Full name syncs up with shoulder, saying a shoulder injury. Shoulder injury equals 80 like Saints. This is just with the language. I have thousands of videos on this. It's not a coincidence. Derek Dallas Carr, DD. D is the fourth letter of the alphabet. He's got the 4 on his jersey. We are in the 4th month right now. Not a coincidence his birthday was just a few weeks ago. But we are in the 4th month right now. In the language, Carr, ABC123, CARR, 40, like 4. He plays for the Saints. Saints equals 44, like 4. New Orleans in the reverse cipher. Z is 1, A is 26. New Orleans, 144. It's also not a coincidence his birthday and Sunday with this sermon. Look at his last birthday, March 28th. 40 date numerology. Sunday with this sermon, 40 date numerology. And you get a match with everything but the day of the year, with the birthday and this sermon Sunday. Look at this. Everything but the day of the year and the days remaining, a match all the way across. You see it? Right? It's the date numerology with both days here, the birthday and this sermon. Birthdays are very important. Everything's ran on the language and the numbers, everything associated with us. It's not a coincidence with all the 4s. And you're talking his name, Derek and Dallas, and then the 4 follows the character for his whole scripted career, scripted life. I mean, isn't it amazing? I think it's amazing. Notice how this sermon Sunday with the saint talking about a shoulder, all S's, right? The 117th day of the year, quarterback equals 117. Anybody can do it. The language, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way to Z is 26. Quarterback 117. This sermon, the 117th day of the year. His middle name is Dallas. Guarantee connection with Dallas, Texas. Didn't he have a brother? I don't know if it was his brother or him. One of them played for the Houston Texans. I think it was his brother David. He's coming up later in the breakdown. There's going to be more Dallas connections. That's not why I'm here right now, okay? Dallas equals 113 in the language. That's the 30th prime number. This sermon about the shoulder injury and people lying about him, 30 days after his birthday. It's a 31-day span from his birthday to this little speech, from start to end. So it's 30 days after his birthday. You see the connection? 31-day span from his birthday to the sermon. 31 date numerology on both dates, as I showed you earlier with that match. 31, you see the same numbers with Dallas 113, the middle name, and then the 3-1. Here's another connection. Who plays for the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA? Kyrie Irving, right? Right? And this character, middle name Dallas, this character's birthday is 5 days after Kyrie Irving. That's just on the fly. And look how close. If this sermon was the next day, it would have been a 4-week, 4-day span. So you see how the 4s are still lingering, even though we already got the connection with the 4s. I'm telling you. Don't forget Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys, 4 on his jersey. Don't forget that. As we see the 4 connected with Derek, Dallas, Carr, Dak, D. Dak's got the 4 on the jersey. Think I'm playing? Don't forget we're in the 4th month. Don't forget Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. He's got the same birthday as the founding anniversary of NASA. NASA, like sky, the sun, the moon, and the stars. The Cowboys got the star on their helmet. We cannot forget that the running back for the Saints is Alvin Kamara. And the quarterback is Derek Carr. Carr, like a vehicle, vroom vroom. Kamara, like Camaro. Chevrolet Camaro, you get the CC, and you know the Camaro is a sports car, as the NFL is a sport. Don't forget to leave your car running, your sports car, as Alvin Kamara is a running back. Everything is fake. Everything is fake. I brought that up in a previous breakdown. I just thought I would toss it in again. This is the brother David Carr, brother of Derek, who used to be a quarterback in the NFL as well. And remember, I think it was David who was on the Texans. So there's that Texas connection again. And remember the middle name Dallas with Derek, right? I think it was David. It was one of them that was on the Texans. Maybe I'll go check. It's not a coincidence that the brother David Carr, his birthday is 4 days before Alvin Kamara. And I was speaking about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has the July 29th birthday. David Carr, July 21, the brother of Derek. 4 days later, Kamara, July 25th birthday. 4 days after that, Dak Prescott with the July 29th birthday. And remember, we're talking about the number 4. Okay? And we're talking about the number 4. What do you think about that? And don't forget the Pope just died. You get this Saints connection. You get the sermon at the church. You get the Pope death. What do you think about all of that? Dak Prescott birthday. What do you think about all that? You know what I'm saying? Look, rain, Dakota Prescott. Star on the helmet. Rain comes from the sky. You see him pointing to the sky. Same birthday as the NASA founding anniversary. The same day. Look, July 29th, Dak Prescott's birthday. Dwight D. Eisenhower, D. Signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act. Again, space like stars. Dwight D. Derek, Dallas, Carr, Dak, Rain, Prescott. You see the fake world? You see the fake world? Who drafted Derek Carr? Oops, I meant to put his brother. What the hell's his? Oh, David. There's probably that Raiders connection as well. Houston Texans drafted David Carr. You see that right there? Derek Carr. There's that Texans connection with Dak Prescott. You see? And he is age 31. Remember, it's a 31-day span. from the Derek Carr birthday to this sermon about the shoulder with the 31 date numerology on both dates. And don't forget Kyrie Irving with his birthday right there. You see that? March 23rd, plays for the Dallas Mavericks. You see that right there? Dallas, Texas, the March 23rd birthday. 5 days before Derek Carr. What a fake world. Derek Dallas Carr. You like that? That's what's up, right? We'll play the little speech again. Let's go to the article. Did I make myself clear? I wonder what the Saints' record was last season. Here's another S, and here's another 40. Look at this on the fly. Carr's sermon took place 2 days after the Saints used their second-round pick, the 40th overall, and they drafted a guy with the last name that starts with S. Look, Tyler Shaw. Look at that. S, sermon S, Saints S, shoulder S. This speech was on Sunday S. And the dude was the 40th pick in the draft. Tyler Shaw right there. You see that? That's on the fly. I didn't go through the article. I went off of what I know, and I went off of the title. Carr 40. The Saints had the 40th pick to go with all the fours. Don't forget Dak with the 4. Amazing, isn't it? The 4 on the jersey for Derek. I have no choice but to look up their draft pick now. There he is right there. He was born about, 12 miles from where I'm at right now. Arizona, airplanes, the air, the sky, Dak with the star, NASA, all the sky-related stuff. Did he play for the Louisville Cardinal? The Saints draft pick? And he was born in Arizona, home of the football NFL Arizona Cardinals. Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Notice how he played for the Texas Tech Red Raiders when Derek Carr was drafted by the Oakland Raiders. This is all on the fly. You like that Raiders connection, but you're talking about a college team in the NFL Raiders? You like that, huh? I bet you do. I bet you do. I will do one last thing and throw his name in the calculator. It doesn't mean it's going to hit, but it looks like it does. The draft pick, the 40th overall for the Saints, I see that 49 right there. I do know that Easter equals 94, but Dallas equals 49, like Tyler Shaw, whatever it is right there. What do you think about that? You see that? It's really not a coincidence. So it just depends on how deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go. We're talking about Easter. You know what I'm saying? Right? The report did not state which shoulder Carr injured or how he injured it, Carr's agent said. right? So the stuff's just all BS now, as far as I'm concerned. They can't even spell his name right. They got the one R, like Camaro, like Kamara, Carr. You see that? And a lot of us out here can't get jobs. And then they're just giving us the script now. You see what I mean? The stuff's amazing, man. Good luck trying to show people this in a fake world, though.
And so, man, that verse right there, I know it blesses somebody because that verse has been blessing me. But let me tell you, you guys know I like to tell you what God has done and what God is going to do. But I also like to tell you what God is doing right now. Okay, and so, yes,
God is the person who is running the world. Okay? It's not some character that we're just supposed to believe in from a long time ago and here's what he looks like. There's somebody portraying God. I don't know who it is. Maybe it was the Pope. I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be going for. I don't know. But this is symbolism. Do you understand?
I have to say this. I hate that I have to say this, but I have to say this. Yes, I have a shoulder injury, despite what ESPN says, and what some lady on a podcast might think. Okay, I have an MRI report to prove it. The team knows about it. We've been in constant communication. There's nothing wrong. We're figuring it out, and we're going to go forward with that. Is that okay? And I've been dealing with this, and I've been dealing with people lying about me. I've been dealing with them saying this and that, and I'm like, Lord, why do I have to continue to deal with this nonsense? Like, what is going on? And I say that to preface with, you never know what someone's really going through. And so why do we continually try to attack people? And I would say attack people that are trying to do things maybe the right way. Why do we continually try? Why do we always have to have an opinion? Why do we always, Twitter and Instagram has ruined things for some people. Because now all these people think that they have voices that have to be heard. And so like, some people's voices don't need to be heard right now. I just got to be honest with you. Because not one of our opinions in here matters. Did you know that? The only opinion that matters is that text right there. It is the Word of God. And everything must bow at that.
And stuff is all connected with the Pope. Okay? I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main thing here, the main connection. So I'm super glad that y'all got to see. I appreciate being able to put this information out there, okay? I really do. Man, look at all those S's. So this is my channel. It's called Daily Decodes 812, okay? And I have multiple channels out there. Some are retired, some are still active. Saints quarterback Derek Carr says in a sermon that people are lying about him and his shoulder injury. Until next time.